Okay, welcome back. This is Jason Kryzak, and we have been discussing the law of attraction in relationship to the Orgone Generators. And we've gone over so many different facets, some known and some more obscure. But today we're going to be getting into something that is probably the foundation to not just the how-to, but the preparation of actually executing the how-to. So with anything, you need to look at the space you occupy, the home base, really is a representation of your inner state. It's a representation of either connection or discord, and it really shows you where you can begin. Because if we don't look at our home environment, we're really not looking at some of the subconscious material that is playing out that we might not be aware of. So today, with this exercise, we're going to basically focus on one part of the house at a time. And in this case, for this exercise, we're going to take just the bathroom, okay? So we're going to start in the bathroom because really it's all about hygiene, it's about cleanliness, and it's about recreating your own self-image, because the way you see yourself is also a representation of how the world is going to see you. So if you're opening up new channels, new potentials for yourself, if you're looking for a new relationship, a big part of this is going to be, how do you see yourself first? You know, what is your own personal hygiene like? What is your space that is more obscure? The bathroom area is such a rather obscure area in everyone's life, but it is actually a very, very important stepping stone to moving into actually executing the various stages of the law of attraction. So in this case, go ahead and take your Orgone Generator. This is really important. And you're going to want to take some non-toxic cleaning supplies. Anything that would be, distilled white vinegar, borax. Those are both really, really great, safe cleaners. We want to keep the mind and the body as clear as possible. Chemical cleaners are not a preference. And the reason why I say that, not just because I manage a holistic clinic, but basically because I understand deeply that the way that the neuropsychology works, the more chemicals we get in our body, the less focus we have, the less chance we have of really clearly manifesting what we're looking to manifest. So we're going to want to get together some white distilled vinegar, some borax. You can go ahead and pour some borax into some water and get it charging. If you've got the Rad 5 or any generator, go ahead and get it charging. We really want to charge up the cleaning solution, our cleaning supplies, whatever it is, because what that's going to do is it's going to really open up the space, and it's going to really revitalize the entire space. And so that's a little known secret. If you're going to be spritzing water or mopping, you want that water to really be full of life force energy, because it's going to really imbue the environment with a completely different feel, a different vibration, and it's going to really open up the forefront of that environment to literally start co-creating with you, you see. So we'll just take a simple assessment first. So go ahead and go to the bathroom area, and I'm going to have you just cut the audio for a second, and you can come right back to it. But just go ahead and take an assessment of the environment, because really looking at your environment deeply without judgment, and again, that's the key. You're not judging the environment. You're not saying right or wrong. You're just looking at, it might be completely immaculate. It might be completely messy. Either way, it's fine, because even if it's completely immaculate, you can do a complete energetic cleaning, and we'll get into that as this audio goes on. If it's dirty, you can really deep clean, and then you can also do an energetic cleaning. And this will really change the way you feel, the way your day begins, the way that your day ends. It's going to really end with that personal hygiene perspective of making sure you're your mind and body are both clean and clear, so you can move forward into the next stage of your work. So go ahead and pause the audio, and when you're ready, come on back. Okay, now that you have just done your little assessment, you've got your cleaning supplies together. Go ahead and take those cleaning supplies. The next stage is just to launch in. Now, this is one of the keys to the law of attraction is action. When we're feeling apathetic, when we're feeling stuck, that's a big part of why we fail, because we think that we have to wait till we feel a lot of motivation, we feel a lot of inner resolve to do something. That's not always the way it works. Sometimes just doing it, just making it happen is really going to be the forefront and the key to the entire equation. Because the more we wait, it can be a form of procrastination. And that procrastination can go on and on and on. And then there's where the self-esteem issues really come in. I've really not gotten anything done. I really don't feel good about myself. So this is really about, even if you feel absolutely no desire to do any kind of work or cleaning, if there's a kind of a lethargy in the mind, it's okay, because actually using this is almost like a yogic exercise to break through some of the barriers that have been actually holding you back from co-creating with life a synergy that feels dynamic and feels fresh and alive. That's exactly what we're doing here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually launch into just the forefront of the cleaning process. So working with the organizing, first removing. What I would suggest to begin with, number one, is take a look at your environment. Remove anything that doesn't elicit the sense of joy, unless it's just a practical item. So this might be anything in the room that actually it's just been there. Maybe it doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't have a joyful feeling. We're going to remove that from the space. Just as a side note, if you're living with other people, always respect, in any environment, respect other people's things. That's a big part of it too. So if it's something that doesn't belong to you, just leave it as it is. But the forefront here is to launch into action, take a look at the environment, see what it is that you really aren't in relationship with that is bringing you a sense of purpose and joy. So that would be the first stage of the cleansing process. Then get into the basics. Clean the floors, the toilet, the bath, the shower, the sink. Really making sure that the water is flowing through the sink, that the drains are working properly, all of that. Getting rid of any kind of trash that might be in the space, and using that Orgone charged water to really, really rinse everything down. You'll already start feeling that really, really rich environment. It'll happen very, very quickly. So go ahead and pause the audio, and let's go ahead and launch into this next portion, which we're really getting into it very quickly, just going right into the cleaning process. Okay, very good. So regardless of how long it's taken, it's a first step in the right direction, and it's an empowerment of moving forward into really, really discovering a deeper purpose in everything that you're doing. The first thing that I really coach people in relationship to their own life and changing their life is that if you feel that your life is stuck or stalled, this is often where people get into learning about the law of attraction, learning about co-creatorship, getting into understanding the Orgone Generators to bring that new vitality and spark into your life. If we leap too far forward in our mind, we're missing the process, and I've really gone over that in the entire series. Going into the process, if you don't allow yourself to have a lot of little rungs that are little wins, then it's going to feel like one Herculean task that is just never going to arrive. So number one, first thing that's already been accomplished, just feel the sensation of accomplishment, of really, really opening that space up, cleansing the space. You've done the deep cleaning. That's the necessary part. You've gotten rid of things that really don't feel right, that aren't organized, that don't bring you joy. So you've got a fresh space that really is about your own personal care. Very, very important. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to launch right into actual energetic cleansing, which is what you've already been doing with the Orgone Generator. So you're going to go ahead and gather up some white sage, some incense, preferably not chemically scented incense, anything that's natural. And you're actually going to charge it with the Orgone Generator. So I know this seems a little over the top, but trust me, every time you charge something, whether it's something that you're eating, something you're cleaning with, even jewelry, whatever it is, you're adding that much more vitality, that much more life force to your entire process. So trust in the process. So go ahead and take that incense or that white sage. And the reason for this is that white sage, incense, whatever it might be, when you're burning it in an environment, the smoke, once you've actually added that charge to it, you've maybe stated your intentions into it, done a little blessing on it. And then when you put that and you burn it in your environment and really sage the environment, that smoke is imbued with the essence of your intentions, with the essence of the orgone energy. And also it's there to really clean out the cobwebs, so to speak. As a 20-year veteran of the healing arts, that's one of the first things that I am constantly doing with our clinic. We're always cleansing the environment energetically. And some of the most successful businesses, that's what they do, because it leaves the entire space clean and fresh and alive. And it allows people to come in with a purposeful, fresh perspective. Another thing that is really, really critical with the energetic cleansing on that almost that quantum level of your environment is that the vibration of old memories, that might be disappointments, disturbances, arguments, and many people already know this that are listening, but it's a good recap also. Those vibrations stay. They stay in the walls, they stay in the belongings, and they speak to us subconsciously. So if there's a lot of negative self-talk, if we've had negative incidents, disappointments, fears coming up, often that's going to collect in the bathroom area, because that's really where we're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. We're letting a lot of that energy to shed at the end of the day, So now it's really time to cleanse that energy out, open up the space. We're cleaning out anything that has been a naysaying or a negative about how we want to move forward, what we want to achieve. We're going to be opening up the space to a completely new vantage point. So taking a moment to allow that white sage, the incense, to charge with the generator. As one side note, if there's anybody in your family that happens to be sensitive to smoke, you can always use like little Dharma bells, little chimes, or you can, if you've got a crystal singing bowl, you can use that. There are a lot of things you can do on a frequency level that will really help to cleanse the space that aren't smudging or smoke related. So make sure you're conscious about the people in your environment. Make sure that they are not going to be affected on a level of allergy to the smoke, including yourself. All right, so go ahead and pause the audio and then go to it. Make sure to get the corners. Make sure to get every space really, really well. Okay, welcome back. So just taking a moment, you've been working really hard, and if you've made it this far into the audio and you're doing the process step by step, you're already starting to feel a change more than likely. You might feel a little tired, but it's a good kind of tired, because this kind of a work, even if it's something that we really don't want to do, it's something that we don't feel has a relevance. Believe me, it has a tremendous relevance, and it is the forefront of being able to begin the process. So allowing yourself to really sit with what you've just accomplished. You've just cleansed the space. You've gotten rid of things possibly that weren't serving you, that were just extras in the way. You've organized, and then you've energetically cleansed, smudged, or vibrationally opened up the space to really, really feel a different vibration. You might actually feel that you're kind of almost attracted into that space because you're actually creating a portal to a potential. So now whenever you cleanse yourself in the morning, in the evening, when you're brushing your teeth, even when you're just looking in the mirror, you're actually seeing through different eyes. You're not seeing through the memory of disappointments, of the vibration that has collected, of feeling weighed down and heavy. You're opening up the space. And you find that most businesses, most spaces that are the most successful, the first thing you feel when you walk in is that the space itself is alive and it's fresh. It's not just what is in the space or how the space is arranged. That's part of it. But a big part of it is really, how does the space feel? Is it heavy? Is it stuffy? Is it overly cocooned, trying to protect? Really, we're looking at opening the space up to potentials, because as you're cleansing yourself each day, as you're looking in the mirror, you really want to see and feel the shedding of those energies that are not serving you in this process. So giving yourself just that moment to reflect on what you've already accomplished, because of that, again, going back into the law of attraction, it has to do with step-by-step process and trusting the process. Every little thing you do is one step toward a better life and actually the fulfillment that you're looking for. We're not just speaking about the end goal being what we're looking for, because we achieve an end goal, then if we haven't found satisfaction in the process, in the journey, then the whole thing is a moot point, you see. So taking action without necessarily having to wait for the perfect timing, that is really, really critical. So now, this process can actually be repeated with every single room in the house. We're going to get into a little bit of the feng shui a little bit later. Taking your Orgone generator next, and we actually want to put it in the bathroom area and just plug it in and just let it really charge the environment. Really, really charge the environment. And this is a place where now that you've opened up that space, we're going to get into the next step. So when you're done placing the Orgone generator in the bathroom, you can come back and you can restart the audio. Okay, so we're really coming full circle now. We're going to get into a little bit more of the theory of the preparative steps in moving into actually the foundational groundwork, which would be actually goal setting and really defining what it is you're looking for. Now, something that is little known in the world of the law of attraction is keeping a clean space and keeping a clean personal self. So before you're actually going to look at writing down the trend that's going to go on the Orgone generator that's going to affect the target, first of all, we really want to be in a good space. So making sure that you're in a good frame of mind now might actually be a really perfect time. So allowing whatever you've accomplished. So if there's been an accomplishment, you've had a good day, then that's a really good time to spark writing down the how-to or the trend that's going to go on to the radionics function of the Orgone generator. In relationship to this, you want to start with really cleansing your body. So taking a bath in like Epsom salts or magnesium chloride, really great start, or just taking a shower. You can even, this is something I get into with a lot of our patients at the clinic, is cold plunges. You can even go into, this isn't mandatory, I'm just giving suggestions, but getting into like right around 55-degree cold plunge is a really, really, really powerful way to clear the mind, open the space, and open the heart. If not, just standard bathing. Get yourself really cleansed. And then when you're ready, smudge the area and just sit. Sit with the feeling of gratitude, the feeling as though what you're looking to accomplish has already been capacitated and is already well underway. Almost like you already have it. So then once that process is done, just sit with that and just allow almost a free-form writing. Just, don't let your trend get too heady or too long. You want to make it basically really, really brief, something really, really concise and to the point where you're really coming down to the core of the issue, and make sure it's in blue ink. Remember, that's very important, to write all your trends in blue ink, because blue allows that quantum shift to occur in the nervous system and the psyche. That's really, really critical. So being cleansed, why do we need to be cleansed? Because when you're cleansed energetically, when you're cleansed physically, you're removing a lot of the psychic and physical entanglements to your day, to various things that have bogged you down. And then you're able to move forward into writing down whatever it is that you want to capacitate. And you're coming from a really sharp and clear perspective, where everything that you write, every word, is coming from pure purpose inside of yourself. And that is really one of the most important keys, is clean mind, clean body, and then we're coming into a clean trend. Because this trend is going to be sitting on that trend plate with a target, and just really dialed in and being empowered for possibly even weeks. And we want the quantum potential within that trend to be at its very highest value. Now, of course, we can't always be in a perfect state or a peak state, but this process is going to really imbue you with the highest state. Even if you've been suffering with depression or suffering with lethargy, it's okay, because you're really coming into launching into purposeful action, and that's already going to be raising your vibratory rate. It's going to really be opening you up. And then when you come in, you're clean, you're fresh, you've got fresh clothes on, you've smudged the environment, and then you're writing these down. What it's doing is it's actually locking that vibration into living frequency in the paper. And that is actually more important than just writing down a bunch of words or typing a bunch of words and then putting them on the trend plate. Believe it or not, that'll still work. But this, now we're supercharging, because every bit of this quantum potential that goes into the radionics, that goes directly to the target, what you're doing is you're imbuing space and aliveness and fresh energy. And the target is going to feel that. That might be you, that might be an event or a person. It really just means that you're targeting something you'd like to bring into your life. You're targeting a potential that you could see shifting something. And always remember, it's always about, the law of attraction really is about, what kind of benefit am I adding to the world and to the target? How am I benefiting? Adding energetic benefit to that the target, including ourselves, feel that. And then, of course, that is going to be one of the greatest forefronts of actually manifesting, because you're actually expressing, I have something to offer, and it's powerful. Go ahead and try this next step. Do the cold plunge. Do the cold shower, or just regular Epsom salt soak, doesn't matter. Whatever is to your preference. Smudge your environment, and then when you're ready, come back in alive, awake, fresh, and just allow that trend to be written. Something very simple, direct, and to the point. Really allowing it to capacitate as quickly and as effortlessly as possible. All right, so now that you have written your trend, congratulations. You have basically fulfilled the groundwork of this process. You've gotten your environment cleansed. You've gotten your space ready. You really know about that platform of the personal hygiene, the energetic hygiene, and keeping yourself sharp and clear. Some of the most important things in the world of co-creation and manifestation is really having a clear space, because without that, you're going to be bogged down with all kinds of doubts, questions, desires that are going to be in conflict with each other. And then that is going to be really cutting a lot of the energetic quality. Again, the Orgone Generators are going to do a huge amount of work on your behalf. But why not maximize your own psyche, your own physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions within the space you're in? And this can be applied with every single room of the house. Really, there's no room that is less important. We're really starting with the bathroom because that is really where your self-reflection is. How you feel about yourself and how you are expressing yourself. It's how you start your day, and typically it's how you're ending your day with that personal hygiene. So giving yourself a little bit of applause that you've really done it. You've begun a process that is going to begin really changing your life. And to me, that's exciting, because everyone deserves a happy life. That's my true vision, is that everybody listening to this is really coming into a space where you're really starting to feel for yourself that I am worthwhile, I am a contributing factor to this world, and by that factor, then I can receive back from the world, because I am contributing, I am worthy. So, best of luck to you, and I would say it's more than luck, it's really about intelligence. And so many blessings, and keep doing this process, and you can repeat the cleansing process that we just went over as often as you want. It's really, the sky's the limit with this. So enjoy the process. Many blessings.